Hello everyone, this is day 15, question 1 of our Leetcode activity. Valid parenthesis. So given a string S containing just characters which are all the brackets, which is round bracket, curly bracket and square brackets, determine if the input string is valid. So what does make a string valid? Firstly, open brackets must be closed by the same type of brackets. Okay, open brackets must be closed in the correct order, and every closed bracket has a corresponding open bracket of the same type. So let us understand through examples. So these are the examples. So see, firstly, the most obvious example is this, which is just to same type of bracket, open and close. So this is most obviously true. Then there is this. This is the nested one. So inside this bracket there is one more square bracket. So here, first of all, let us check all the conditions one by one. Open brackets must be closed by the same type of brackets. Okay. This round bracket is closed by round, square is closed by square. So first condition is true. Second condition is open brackets must be closed in correct order. Here order is also correct, as first round then square then round. As this square is being closed by this and this round is being closed by this, so the order is also correct. Now every closed bracket has a corresponding open bracket of the same type. That is true. Here they have this type, so this is also true. Now this is false. Why? Here there are equal number of open and closed brackets, so for every open there is close and every close there is open. But this does not satisfy this condition, that it must be closed in the correct order. Here open square, now again open square, so this square is not being closed by square first and then by round, which is being done here. Here the order is wrong, so this is false. So we will, how we will solve this, we'll use the approach of stack. So stack, as you know, it's last in last out. So it is like a pile of books that you cannot pick the book from the middle or the bottom. You can always pick the book which is at the top of the stack. So how we will use this? Firstly, we'll iterate for each character in the string s. S is our input. If it is a open bracket, we will just simply push it in the stack, push it into the stack. So st dot push. Else, if it is not open bracket, then it is a closed bracket. If it is a close bracket, so now whatever the string we have, if the character, first character was not a open bracket, it must have been either a closed bracket or the string is empty. So we go into else. So now st.empty return false. Why is st.empty? So this basically means that when we were traversing the string, let me show. So if this is the case, now here these two are correct, but this first one, if the first itself is closed, it can never be a correct or a valid parenthesis. So here, if we start iterating the string and we find that the first is not open bracket, so we go in else, as this is just for open brackets. So we find, what do we find? st.empty, which means there was no open bracket added in the stack, which means there was no open bracket before this closed bracket. So no uh, set of parentheses further than this is valid, or this will false, make the whole string false. So we directly return false. Now this case is covered. We go further. If this is not the case, Then where do we go? Char dot top is equal to st dot top. What does this do? This checks the top element and st dot pop. Now, if c is equal to, now we have stored this top element in our uh, character top. So now, if c is equal to this, so the current closing string, closing character is round, and if top is not round, then we return false. So now let us see this in practice or through an example so you'll understand it better. Here you can see. Now let's iterate this string. Firstly, this we come at the first character. This is a open bracket. So we add this open bracket to our stack. This is added. We go further. Now this is just open square bracket. So we add this bracket to our stack. Now we go further. Now this is not a opening bracket. So we go into else. Is our stack empty? No. Then we go front. Now character top is equal to st dot top. So now top holds the character this. So let us see. So here this is top and this is equal to top. Why? Because the our top element in stack is the open square bracket. Now we check if our C, this is our C, does this match our top element? Does it match? Yes, it matches square bracket, square bracket. So we have found the correct pair. So we just pop this. So we delete it. We go further. Now again, now top becomes this. Does this both match? Yes, it matches. So this is also pop. And we have traversed the whole string. Now we check if the stack is empty. If the stack is empty, we return true. And if the stack is not empty, we return false. Why? Let us check an example. This. So now, firstly, we'll add to the stack open round bracket. This is added. We have pushed that. Now we push. We go further and we push square bracket. So we push here. Now we find what? A round bracket. So now our top element is a square and we have popped it. Now we will compare our character and top. Does our character and top match? No, they do not match. So that means that this is not a valid parenthesis as we had opened a square bracket but we have not closed it. So we have not closed it in the correct order. So this is a false. This means this is where parenthesis not valid and we directly return false. And after doing this and after iterating through all the things, if the stack is not empty, then too we return false as that opening bracket had no. We will take that example too. Wait. So maybe this was correct. So here it was such, but there was one more opening bracket. So this bracket will remain in the stack as C. This will be added, this will be added. Then when we reach here, we'll match this boot. This will be popped and we match this both. Then again we go at this, we match this both, and this will be popped. And now the string is over. But this will remain. The first element will remain in the stack as there was no bracket to close it. Are you getting my point? So there was no bracket to close it. So at the end, when we have run this for loop for every character in string, and still there remains a element in our stack, that means this bracket, opening bracket, had no closing bracket to it. So therefore this string is not valid. That is what we are doing to return st.empty. So if the string was empty, we'll return true. If the string was not empty, that means this is remaining, we return false. And this was the approach for the question valid parenthesis using the data structure stack. Thank you.